Hello and welcome. I'm Knight's Angel, and we are back building Paws. Oh, after the last episode, I went ahead just to get it out of the way. I went to actually do one of our lining. Problem is, I did not take certain things into account. So, what we ended up with was this mess. Yeah. So, rather than give up, or even panic, I realized where my mistake was. And decided to recover from it by taking an idea from a rather simple idea. We're going to put in reliefs, which is just an extra bit of fabric along the seam so that the material will stretch around it because, well, nothing fits perfectly. So, that's what we're going to end up doing today. And I'm going to go ahead and set up the sewing machine here in a minute. We have a couple of them between the fingers and on either side of the wrist. So we're going to work with that today. So, that being said, enough idle chit-chat, let's get into it. And jump. Alrighty, we're back. That didn't take too long. And we're ready to begin. I gotta remember to clean this thing off. Alright. So, what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and put our reliefs in one side at a time. So this should be hopefully relatively painless, unless I manage to blow something up, in which case that'll just be entertaining. Alrighty. Here we go. And that's one down. So, yep. And I'll pretty much explain the rest of this insanity as we go. Lined up. Oh, right, I forgot to mention I also have one of my cohorts here, so thank you, Noob's Toys.
What's up?
Yep. Got my buddy Noob's Toys here, the guy that's responsible for getting all this going. Gee, none of this would have been possible.
I know, I said, wow.
Had he not bought this. So, yes. He's the one responsible for all of it. So, here we go. Yeah, you don't want to go too quickly with this part because you're going to have to keep your alignment very carefully. And there we go. Now don't worry about it sticking out like that, or some of these little offsetting points, because we'll get to those in due time. Now comes the fun part of this part of the project. Yeah, I am intentionally walking you through all of this. I can do the rest of it, the other one off camera. Is we need to put the release between the fingers. And this is where it's going to get fun. Because we have to make sure that we get them in the right place. So you actually have a couple of options with doing this. You take a piece that you have designated to go and grab the Sharpies. Measure about where you want your midway point. And mark it. That's pretty much the easiest way to go. But I'm not a professional, so don't ask me. So, we are going to set this up like so. This is going to be a little tricky because where we're having to do this. All right. I went ahead and I know it's kind of hard to see in there, but I went ahead and marked it off and lined them up under the needle. So then it's just straight shut to the end. See? Not very difficult. Well, that part was. Now for the fun part. Now you gotta get it to do a 180. Without tearing it apart. And probably the easiest way to do that. Probably, I'm not sure. No, there's no real easy way of doing this part. Just gotta line it up and hope it works. That's pretty much all I can say. And yeah, I have no idea what happened there. It just didn't take, so. But this is a windfall. Why? Because we can just fix it. Sorry, we had too many threads out and about. Because quite literally, the stitch is all pulled from one spot. So, we're just gonna get it all lined up one shot. And go to town. There we go. And voila. And if you still have that little tiny bit, you can get in there with needle and thread, with a hand needle and thread, and do it. So, yep. So, I will be right back. Alright. Just a little bit of random backtracking. I went and double check something. I really don't have to do another one of these, so because on the one I did, those two were actually functioning fine. It was mostly that one and around the wrist. So as long as I don't screw up on the next part, we'll be good. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Anyway, sorry about the background. So, alright, all we have to do is get this lined up. And yeah, it's actually going to be a little tricky to get it to line up perfectly, so. But don't worry about having a little slack. Because we're going to turn that all off anyway, if we need to. Now just align the edges and carry on. Don't forget to reset the boot. So. Yeah. And move it around as you need it. Don't worry about having any space. That's actually what we're wanting. Not space like that. Well, we want space like that, but that's a different matter. So. Just want to make sure everything lines up. That's what we want. One moment. Alrighty. We're on a timer here, so let's go ahead and just get to the end of our index finger here, and we'll call it a day. So I'm sure a lot of you will pick up the rest later. Or else do more on the other one. Forgot the boot again. So, anyway. So, here we go. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there, because when we pick up, we're going to go around, link these two up, and then go all the way down and carry on. But I'm going to do that in the next one, because I'm out of time. So, as always, thoughts, comments, what have you, down below. Hit the buttons in any order you want, whenever you so desire, at your leisure. And I'll catch you next time. I'm Knight's Angel. thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a better day. Let's go grab some cookies.